What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Mike Ryder, Mr. Accountability, the man behind the microphone. You are tuned in to another edition of Mike Ryder Talks. Matter of fact, this is a special edition of Mike Ryder Talks, man. We're coming to you on a Sunday evening. Matter of fact, Mother's Day. Any mothers out there, man, I want to say happy Mother's Day. You are appreciated by me and all the other men, especially the men that are like me. Can't speak for the other ones though. Listen, I got a special guest lined up for y'all tonight with a very special show. Before I get into that, let me get into this. Mike Ryder Talks is live every Tuesday, normally on Facebook and YouTube at 7 p.m. Man, we're having conversations that are changing the world. I am here to change the world. I'm here to enlighten, uplift, educate, motivate, and inspire. Let me move on from that. Tonight, man, I got a guest. Let me put this on the screen. Y'all might know who that is. Y'all might not know who that is. And just in case you don't, this is Andreas Cooke. My man also has a podcast, has a radio station. My man has a degree in business, and he specializes in marketing. That's what we're going to get into tonight. This is a great friend of mine. I call him a mentor. You know what I'm saying? We converse on a regular. I do business with him. He does business with me. Tonight, we're here to drop some gems. We're here to do a good conversation that's needed for business owners, entrepreneurs, small business owners, or future entrepreneurs. And without further ado, let me get into my guest, man. Andreas Cooke, what's going on with you, man?
What's up, man?
How you doing this evening?
Excuse me, I'm doing all right. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me.
Get it together. Get it together, baby.
Oh, it's allergies. People got to get my allergies. But yeah, I'm doing good. How you doing?
Man, I'm blessed, man. And for the people who may not know you, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, as you said, excuse me. Well, it must be a little dusty in here. Get this thing cleaned. But Andreas Cooke, as you said, business degree, concentration in marketing, a man of a lot of different talents. But I like to tell people I specialize in, marketing, business, promotion, things of that nature, getting things going. Full-time entrepreneur, several businesses under my belt. I started my first one back in 2005 before I graduated. So yeah, and I've just been going ever since.
Let's get it. So just like the title of the video tonight says, is you market your way to success. So we're going to talk about marketing.
Yes.
You specialize in marketing, and
yes,
we're going to get straight to these questions.
Okay, let's get to them.
What is marketing?
A lot of people think marketing is, for the most part, just dealing with putting like a message out or graphics designs, having flyers, things of that nature. That's a misconception. Marketing is the entire process. In a nutshell, is getting consumers to trade something of value for something that you're introducing to them. So basically currency and fulfilling that need or that want that they have, or even if they don't realize that they have it yet, introducing, something to them to give up that currency. So you have what we call as research, product development, things of that nature, formulating the right message, using the right form of advertising, which is actually the medium that you use to put your message out there, the actual message itself or the promotion, that's what that is. And then, getting into the consumer and doing post research as well. Because sometimes you might set a goal for something and you don't achieve that goal. So you need to know why you wasn't able to achieve that goal. Marketing encompasses all of that. So
you know what?
Yeah. Look,
what you just said. Go ahead. Go on and get to it.
I'm gonna say one more thing. Marketing, and when it's taught in the academic world, consists of 4 P's: product, place, price, and promotion. So of course the product is, so the good or the service. That's what the products are, the goods or services. The price, of course, is the price. The place is actually distribution, so logistics, and then promotion is why they need to. It's the why of why they need that product or service. So you have to incorporate all four of those things to really know what marketing is.
Okay, so yourself, you are well versed in marketing. You just gave us the four
Yeah.
P's. You're
hmm
telling us about revising our marketing, looking over it, doing our research.
hmm
What made you want to get into marketing? What brought this about?
Well, when I was in high school, I used to work various retail jobs. And in doing that, I was extremely well at being like the top salesperson. One particular job I did was I worked for Cloth World, which was bought by Joann's Fabrics and Crafts. And like I just walked in one day because I was looking for another job. I got tired of Kroger's or whatever, so I wanted something different. Never had done anything with fabric whatsoever. Didn't even know the difference in different fabrics, and that there's this whole world of fabrics, arts, and crafts that all tie into one another. So with doing that particular job, I was like the lead salesperson. So that really allowed me, and I would like double everyone else's sales while I was there. And I did that like 9 months straight. So that, along with other jobs I've had in the past, especially if I had a retail environment or a selling environment, those are jobs that I excelled at. So I knew before I was a graduate of high school that I was like, I need to go looking into. I did, some initial research. I was like, what, I need to find a school that has business, but more so marketing. And that's how I actually got into it. Like I declared my major at Fort Valley the first day I was there as a freshman and never wavered.
Come on, let's get it. So you've been doing that since college. That's what you want to get into. First day in, declared
Yeah.
it. Here we are, what, 20 years later,
Yeah.
full-time entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
multiple businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Marketing is your thing. I want
Yes,
to ask
it
you
is.
something that a lot of people don't understand about marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Does marketing go hand in hand with networking?
Me, I say it does. One, because one aspect of marketing is selling. When you're networking, what are you doing? At the end of the day, you're selling yourself. Like I've done my business mixers and networking events. I gave an opportunity for people to sell themselves, because when you create a business, you're taking on all facets of that business, regardless of the capital that you raised for it and things of that nature. You're not going to have enough. So you have to learn every aspect of your business. And if you can't sell your business, then, you're not going to make any money. You won't stay in business, regardless
Gotcha.
how well the product or service is, regardless of how well the service is. If you can't sell it and nobody knows about it, then you're not going to be in business. So networking, yeah, that's like, I would say you can get further with networking than you can with traditional marketing techniques. And I've done that in the past. When I had, excuse me, Baked Out Entertainment. That was my very first company I started, a music promotions company. That's what I focused on, because I have a love for music, have a love for marketing and promotions. So I blended the two together. I would go out and I bought an ad in the yellow book. Yeah, it was the yellow book. It wasn't even the yellow pages. It was the yellow book when it was being circulated. When I spent like $2,000 on that ad just to get the company out there and introduce it to people. I kept getting the wrong people who would call the number that I listed in there. And I realized, even though I put it under music promotions, with the potential people who were calling me, or the people who did call me, they were still looking at it as like a record studio, a recording studio, a record label, or whatever the case may be. I was like, no, it's none of that. It's a music promotions. I promote music for artists, or whatever the case may be. So then I just started networking, and I did way more in 2 months of networking to get into the right people than the calls that I generated from that ad in the directory.
So by you getting out there networking, showing your face, that did better than just placing you, that like ad placement kind of sort
Mhm.
of.
Yeah.
Um, let me get to this. My man Yo, he's in the comments. He says, that's a fact. I started an apparel company and realized it's me who sells my brand. But the best
Mhm.
part is the quality of my merchandise helps because I'm not selling a dream. Then he also said you need to attack the battle rap community, in my opinion. Hey, I told you when I first started
Yeah.
podcasting, I was doing a battle rap podcast.
Uh-huh.
And those are some people who I want to get on over here because a lot of them don't understand about business.
Yeah,
They
they
don't understand about
it's not even just the battle rap. Like I can get into it with me doing music promotions and just being in the music business since 2005. I have ran across countless number of independent artists, and I like to call them independent because I think calling them local does them a disservice. That's just my own personal thing, but I think I've been starting to set like a standard, and people are starting to use this terminology, especially here in this area. So I'm proud of that because if you're in Macon and you stream in Warner Robins, you're no longer local. You're an indie
facts.
artist. You're just trying to, what I'm saying, get your name to a bigger audience. And just artists in general, creatives actually, not just artists, painters, anybody who's creative, because they're using so much. What is it? The right side of their brain, I believe, is the creative side. The left side is logical, I think, or I might have those reversed. Either or, one hemisphere of their brain dominates as far as a way of thinking, and they don't know how to monetize their gifts. And I've seen that over and over and over and over.
Yes.
There's formulas for it. They just have to be able to tap into that. And that's what I try to do. I try to help them tap into that. Sometimes people are receptive to the information. Sometimes, they're not. And, we all are creatures of habit and things of that nature or whatever. So I just let the chips fall where they are because I've proven that, one, I can do it because I did it myself as an artist, as a recording artist, as a label head, where and I know this is going off a little bit on the subject or whatever. But yeah, I've sold thousands of dollars worth of music. I've had videos that hit hundreds of thousands of views. I've made money from YouTube, hundreds of dollars in 1 month. I've gotten publishing checks. So I've done the entire thing. I've done all of it. Cultivated a fan base. Didn't take it to whatever level I could have took it to, but that was not the point. The point was me to show you that if you stick to a plan, this is the results of that plan.
I posted something about that the other day. It wasn't necessarily about marketing, but once you get into that grind and you get to it, the
Mm-hmm.
end result will pay off
Yeah, they do every time.
every time. All you have to do is try it. Be open-minded enough
Mm-hmm.
and willing to try something different, because even myself, things that I did normally a year ago, it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
work today.
Yeah, and that's the thing about marketing; it changes all the time. Like there was no social media marketing when I got my degree. Twitter wasn't even on fire yet. I think Twitter set on fire like right after I graduated, whatever the case may be. After I graduated 2006, so I think it was around 2007, 2008, 9, or whatever. Facebook wasn't on fire like it is. Instagram wasn't even heard of. So yeah, things do change, but the principles do not though. The consistency, even with like now, and this is like a little thing. I do try to educate people as best as possible if they want to hear the information. We can self promote all we want to. We will reach a plateau every single time. It's not until what I'm saying, you switch up your marketing, your content, and you actually just hire people who know how to do it. Um, and in our community, marketing is never like a budget that we think about when we're starting a business. It's always cover the cost, operating costs, as far as like the raw materials it takes to make the finished product or whatever the case may be. But marketing is not a budget that we talk about, nor do we even think about. And when you put yourself out there, it will take longer to go through those stages that all businesses go to be able to flourish. Marketing budgets actually help you lower that time span, because you can do something and you can grind it out for 7 years, or you can come up with a marketing budget consistently that you're going to spend to promote your business and get to where you're trying to get in 7 years and three.
You speaking nothing but facts right now, my man.
I'm just
Listen,
saying.
I got
Man.
another question from the chat. And you know what?
Okay.
Before I get to that, I'm gonna get to your question. You are absolutely right. You know, I have a small business just like you have businesses. We
Mm-hmm.
don't put marketing budget or marketing into our budget or
Mm-hmm.
marketing budget into our business brand. Like we usually, okay, what is it gonna cost for me to go buy these tires? What is it gonna cost for me to get this truck? But
Mm-hmm.
not marketing.
Yeah.
When I first started marketing on Google, I was like, dude, this is gonna be expensive.
It's
And that's
actually
just
more expensive in the long run, though. That's the thing. It
yeah.
costs you way more if you were to quantify your time that it took to get to where you are to reach that level, and all the missed opportunities. And that's one thing we don't talk about either, missed opportunities,
Okay.
because we're not quantifying those. And that's the thing I want people to start thinking about. You have to quantify stuff like that. When you add it all up, because it can be added up, it will far exceed what you spent in marketing budget.
And it will far exceed the amount of money that you made thinking that you would
Mhm.
get somewhere with your original plan. So
Mhm.
once you revise that plan and actually put it into play,
Yep.
okay, I revised my plan during the pandemic.
Mhm.
Things weren't working out. You know what I'm saying? Came up with a new plan, came up with a new marketing strategy.
Mhm.
Okay, we've been taking off. Um, I'm gonna put this on here real quick. Anybody watching this for the first time, you see that I'm interacting with my guys. Anybody in the comments, if you got a question that you want to ask or a valid statement to go along with the conversation, put it in the comments. I will put you on the screen and interact with you. But Mr. In the building, as I should call him, what's the best free advice that you can give a new business owner?
I give free advice all the time. I don't mind giving free advice. The As far as paying, because people do pay me to consult. That's when we dive into the very specifics of your business. But the best free advice I can give anybody, as far as a new business owner, is just stay consistent. Consistency will get you. It's like one of the hurdles. It helps you build momentum. It helps you build consistency. It helps you build momentum. It helps you build synergy. It shows the consumer that you're going after that you're not just a fly by night company. And when you help break down the wall of defense that they have, and you start engaging in those relationships, a wall of trust, it'll take you far. Just being consistent.
Mm. And you know what? Speaking of that wall of trust and showing them that you're not a fly by night company, that's
Mm-hmm.
another thing I had to learn. Because when I first popped out and was doing things, I was just showing, okay, I'm selling this. I got this for sale. People
Mm-hmm.
weren't fooling with me. They had never seen me before. They didn't
Mm-hmm.
know who I was.
Yeah.
People
Consumer
pop up
behavior is
all. You said what now?
that's consumer behavior. Like I had a whole semester just in consumer behavior. And that's like part of some people forget that marketing is also part of psychology as well. Not the depths of trauma or anything like that, but do understanding how your consumer operates. And any okay, well, let me just go ahead and put this out there. Then this will tie into that. Um, this will like one of the questions, whatever. Me thinking about it, different forms of marketing, right? There's a one aspect of called guerrilla marketing, which is you're trying to maximize your results on a shoestring budget. And some instances will call for that. Some instances, the industry won't tolerate that because that's not the standard according to the consumers. And for something to penetrate your consumer's mind that you're going after, it takes three interactions of either seeing it, hearing it, whatever the case, for it to penetrate that one time. So for them to think that it's a credible source of information and they can do business with that where they're lowering down that guard lowering down, that wall, it has to penetrate their mind 5 times. So every one penetration, it takes 3 instances. That's 15 times that they have to interact with that message. And it still holds true. I've seen companies where people thought they were like, oh, they got to be like a blue chip company. And the blue chip company is a company that's been around for at least 100 years or so. They're very solvent. For the most part, they're not going anywhere. Nike, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, things of that nature. They're not going anywhere because they have practices in place where, they are, they know how to operate. They understand the consumer, things of that nature. But we have to get to that. And you can shorten that window by interacting with them that many times, but we don't even have a budget to be able to do that. We don't put that out there. 15 times for 5 penetrations for them to lower that wall. I've seen companies that have been like 2 years old. People think, oh man, they've been around forever. No, you probably just seen their advertising and how they've been putting their message out there. It's penetrated.
So they use the guerrilla form of advertising.
You say what?
They pretty much just use a guerrilla form of advertising.
That and the fact that they're penetrating your mind. They're penetrating your mind 5 times. So you're coming in with their messaging 15 times. You just don't know it. I'm like, we see over 70-something thousand messages a day. We can't process all those, and it's the ones that stick out to us. The ones that are, we're familiar with. Like there are like such things as family brands and things of that nature. So like every car manufacturer is a family brand because you have like a Toyota Corolla, a Toyota Celica. I think that's right. I'm not really into cars and all that. Yeah,
Chevrolet, Toyota. You got Ford.
Yeah, you got a Ford F-150. The F-150 is the extension of the Ford. You got the Ford Mustang. You see what I'm saying? So the brand, the family name or the last name is Ford. The extension of that is that particular series. So Mustang, F-150, whatever else, blah, blah, blah. It all comes back to Ford.
Gotcha. Let me ask you this, because I'm a live streamer / podcaster. You yourself, you're a podcaster.
Mm-hmm.
Any marketing advice for a podcaster that you want to share?
Yeah, just networking. That's how you build your audience. Staying consistent. Right. A lot of people think podcasting is easy. It's easy as far as like, coming up with stuff. But there's a lot of behind the scenes work. I'm like, people get to see the end result. They get to see the fruit of the labor. They don't get to see everything that's behind what it takes to get your name up and going, to build credibility in the industry itself, where there's no blueprint for anything. There's just staying consistent. And then getting to the point to where you realize you can make money from advertisements in all sorts of different ways, product placements, just plugging different things, ad mentions, whatever the case may be, selling your content. Just staying consistent. I also would, stress that think of podcasting as like a production, especially if you're in it's production regardless. You just got different levels of it. You have audio production level, and then you have visual and audio and visual. That's like, the ultimate tier where people can hear you and see you. So you got to think about that and treat it like a production. And you have to, the industry standard now, if the industry standard is having condenser mics and having like that radio sound or high quality audio, then that's what you have to do. You can't do anything beyond lower than that. If the industry standard is like, videos and, the ones that are getting the most attraction, not only it's their content, but also say like they got a 3-camera angle or they got 1, 2, 3, then that's the standard. You have to invest in all that and, put things in perspective and, just build your way up. As long as your audience can see that you're growing, they'll grow with you. They can see like, professional flyers, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature, step to grab their attention because those are the standards. If you're not meeting the standards, you're not going to get the results that you want.
No, that's fire. I know you mentioned the flyers. You
Mhm,
yourself, you have some pretty standout flyers, kind of like what we got right here. We'll put that on the main
mhm.
screen.
Yep.
Your flyers very catchy. They
Mhm,
grab my attention, but they're
mhm,
all different
mhm.
and they all get their message across.
Yes, they do, but I can't take credits for my actual flyers. Now that one I did myself, but most of my flyers, 99% of my flyers are done by Shamika. I paid her. She's a graphics artist. That's what she does for a living. I don't dive into stuff that is not mine. Um, and I know some people like to cut expenses, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? I really do get it, but you have to learn. Sometimes it's better to pay somebody what they're worth to get you what you want, as to trying to, oh, well, I can knock that out because I can do that, or whatever the case may be. No, your time is the most valuable asset that you have. So any times that I'm not, all I gotta do is send her all the information. I can work on other stuff to enhance the show. I can work on more promoting the show through what Facebook ads, whatever the case may be, and letting people know that I have certain guests, or I could be looking for more guests instead of trying to design these flyers.
And you know what? That's something I definitely need to learn because I do my flyers. Like with the pictures changing, that's me changing the picture. So I'm
Mhm.
producing, I'm directing,
Yeah.
I'm doing the editing. I do my own flyers. Like this is my flyer that I made. Where is it? No, that's for another show I got coming up. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying with Nancy.
Mhm.
I do my own flyers. I do everything. But you're telling me that it's okay to outsource. That
Yes. Oh
way I
my God.
can.
Outsourcing. When you find reliable people, outsource. There's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing bad about outsourcing. Nike still outsources ads that they do. Nike, a multi-billion-dollar company,
Trillion dollar,
still,
trillion.
or trillion, still outsource certain campaigns and stuff because they can't do it all. You can't house everything. It is no possible way to be effective into at that magnitude. Um, like I tell people, when you start getting to a certain level, you can't control everything and micromanage. You have to find reliable sources that you can trust and build relationships with, going back through networking and strategic partnerships and things of that nature, to be able to get to where you're trying to go, especially if you're trying to build something that is way bigger than yourself.
That's fact. That's fact. Look, my man CJC, he is the chat MVP. He asked, can you market my music?
Yeah.
He might be dead serious because he talks about his music quite often on here.
No, some clients I have pushed their music for, Blackmail, currently doing his. Billy Slums, I've done his. Who else I've done around this area? I have quite a few people, and then some people I just help, like bring awareness to them. But as far as marketing music, yes, I know how to market music. Everything I do with artists, I find what's unique about them, and that's how we spin and how we push their music. Because every artist is different, even if you're in the same genre.
Oh, CJC, this is something you might want to take in. He has a radio station. He also has
I
an
do.
app that you
I
can
do.
get spins on. With you
Yes.
being an independent artist, when your music gets played, you can make money off of that.
Yeah, they
And
build
this
it.
is the
It's
question.
licensed by Sound Exchange. I have to file those reports every quarter. And as long as your publishing is set up correctly, you will get the money from your spins being generated.
This is the question I was waiting on him to ask.
You just hit me up on Facebook. Well, that was
He's
Facebook.
he's not around here.
Oh,
He's in Florida.
he can call me. He can email me, however you
Um,
do it.
I mean, hey, he put it out there, baby. Let's get it.
Yeah. Huh?
Put it out there. What? How can he reach you?
Number, yeah, 478-390-1709. Most of the time, my number is on all the flyers, or whatever the case may be. Email banked-out-radio-show@gmail.com. And it's banked out with two T's. Yeah, my information is very accessible. It's out there. Even what is it? Oh, the first Friday, was it First Friday Flare concert that I'm doing on June I like numbers on that. So yeah, my information is there. I am very reachable. I just don't talk, I don't talk business on Sundays though, as far as artists and stuff. So yeah, hit me up tomorrow, Monday.
Seriously, hit him up tomorrow, man. Matter of fact, I will shoot you his number if
Yeah.
needed. Um, he does have another question though. He said, "What's the main things you're focused on currently with your marketing business?"
Uh, okay. Well, okay. My marketing company that I actually have a company. The main thing, well, it's funny because I am my own client through one of my other businesses. So the main thing I'm focusing on right now is a couple of different things, really. The Making Mental Health Matters initiative. I have the marketing for that. And then just pushing and growing the radio station along with the app. Those are the three main things that I'm focusing on. Now, artists do fit into those. Actually, they fit into all three of them because I have a couple of different campaigns I'm about to start working on that actually includes artists around the city. I just haven't put it all together, but it's coming real soon. So I say within the next month or so, that'll be released and people can see what I was actually talking about. I don't want to spoil it for anyone yet, though.
Hey, okay, so what are some misconceptions people may have about marketing?
One of the ones I always run into is that they just think it's an overnight type of situation. You can put something out there and it's going bam, immediate results. No. Like I said, you're building that trust. Any information you put out there when you're trying to sell it to consumers or potentially get them to buy, it's a trust, it's a give and take type of situation. So you have to earn their trust, and that takes time. And I'm gonna go ahead and give people this story. A misconception as far as like one of the world's most recognized brands, people think it's Coca-Cola, when in fact it's the Marlboro Man, the cow. I mean, not the cow, the cowboy, the cigarette company. When they were spending millions of dollars on marketing, they hired an ad agency or a marketing company, and there are different companies who do like brand recognition surveys and things of that nature. They were like number 37 or something like that within the cigarette industry at that time. And the following year, they had spent like a good million something dollars on various campaigns, probably more, if I remember correctly. They were still number 37. At the time when they hired that marketing company, they told the owner, this is going to be a long-term goal that you want to be if you want to be number one.
Okay.
And they thought they were going to get fired because they didn't get the results, right? Because they stayed number 37 out of 37, right? The owner told them after that year, he was like, well, you did tell me this was long-term, so we're going to keep going at this. Over the course of years, they became number one and stayed there. So a misconception that a lot of people have is that marketing is a quick type of turnaround thing or like a quick ROI, return on investment. It is not. Anyone who tells you that is lying to you and they're just taking your money. I tell clients all the time, of course, you got different campaigns that you're going to run, and they go for different lengths of time. But you can't expect something just to be done like in a month's time or even 3 months' time. And I tell you, I'm gonna tell everybody a secret, right? That they don't tell y'all when y'all go to these traditional marketing institutions. And what I mean by that is like radio, TV, and newspaper. Those are the three biggest and three traditional sense of marketing. What they don't tell you is that when you go to radio, they'll sell you a radio campaign. They won't tell you that you need 6 months minimum of a campaign in order to, start seeing results.
But they know that money is burning up in your pocket and you need to spend it with them. That's all that they want to accomplish.
Yeah. But like what people will do, they'll be like, okay, well, I'll try it out for a month or so, or even 2 months. They'll take your money. They're not going to tell you that you're going to waste your money. If you're not going to spend a minimum of at least 6 months promoting your ad on radio, and that's minimum, because after 6 months, it has penetrated the consumer's mind so much that they start to react to that ad that you're pushing. When they
Right,
start to
right.
react to that ad, that means you got to spend another 6 months to really see the benefits. So it takes a good year of solid marketing to start to see the results of what you started a year prior, and to know that your position as a business has moved. They're not going to tell you that. Same thing with TV. You can be on the big. I've seen people spend $800 on what was those VH1 shows that come on, Love and Hip Hop and all that. They'll spend $800 just to get on there one time or two times, maybe. Two times is really pushing it. It's like one time, and nothing happens. Why?
Because it only played once.
Yeah, even if it played across a million people, whatever, it wasn't effective enough. There was no brand behind it. There was no connection to the audience or whatever, and they didn't see it. Like I said, we see ads all the time, regardless if
Yes.
they're on social media or they're on TV, or we hear them on the radio, or we see coupons or advertisements running through the mail, whatever the case may be. We come into contact with at least 70,000 some ads a day. We can't process all those. We forget
But
99%.
hold on, Andreas.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that they have in common is those ads that we run across, they're constantly there.
Yes, they are.
Papa John's has been running the ad in the mail since I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
Church's Chicken.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? 1-800-411-PAIN.
Mm-hmm.
They've been killing the radio for years.
Mm-hmm.
You look on TV, Doritos, Gain,
Uh-huh.
Tide, Nike,
Exactly.
Jordan. They're every commercial break, you see those commercials.
They're committed to it because they know. Even I'll tell people another thing. When Coke and Pepsi were experiencing the Coke wars, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Coke decided to, their marketing person, whoever it was, VP of marketing, whatever, decided one week to stop advertising Coke. Pepsi ate up 72% of those sales that week. And they said, never again will we ever stop marketing our brand in some way, because it's a constant.
It wasn't even about the
reminder.
taste.
Huh?
It wasn't even about the taste. It was just because I saw them more.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and what people forget, that all that messaging, it goes into our brains, and we sit on it as consumers, right? So then when the need arises, then we think about that particular company to satisfy that need. Like I tell people all the time, you can't guarantee sales. That's a lie.
Mm-mm.
What you can guarantee is the position that your brand will be in the consumer's brain. So when the need arises, if it's 2:00 in the afternoon or if it's 2:00 in the morning, they're going to think of your company and then take action. That's all you can guarantee, because you consistently stay with the same message, same branding, and you're constantly pushing it.
Come on, man. Come on, man. That's what's up there. TBC, he has another question for you. He said, do you set up many goals to reach at time periods and then main goals you want for your guys?
Yes, all goals are broken down into smaller steps. You have your ultimate goal. Say if you want to sell 20,000 records, you got to break that down to smaller goals. Even with like my app was, I need 1,000 downloads. Well, I can't get
Remember
to 1,000 if I don't
you were
get to
posting that every day. I need 1,000 downloads. We're at 400. We just hit 657. You know what I'm saying?
You know why I do that? You know why I put the numbers out there?
Why?
Because it keeps everybody else engaged. It keeps everybody else talking. And then when people see the numbers grow, they interact more. They'll be like, oh, well, hold up. The other day he was at 400.
Yeah.
Now he at 500.
Now he's at,
I don't want to miss out on this. See, we start thinking like that as consumers. I don't want to miss out on this. I want to be left in the dark. I want to be in the know. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? That's information. And that's valuable information to people. So yeah, I'm going to keep doing it. And then there's a bigger goal behind that too. But right now it's 1,000. And if that's by the end of the year, I want to hit 1,000 downloads. We're at 756. So once we hit 800, bam, that's another flyer. hit 800. You got to keep this thing moving. Come on. You have to commit, because if you don't break it down, then one, you can't see the progress, and it can be daunting. Like, people have huge goals. Like, I want to do $50,000 or whatever. I want to replace my income. Okay, you got to focus on getting that first dollar. Let's start there. Then let's get to $10. Then let's get to 100. Let's get to 1,000. Okay, then let's see if we can hit 5,000. Let's see how we're going to do to get to 10,000, and then so on and so on. Those small little steps are your successes to get to your bigger goal. If you don't break it down, it's very overwhelming, especially if you don't have the resources to like try to jump to that goal real quick. If you don't have the budget for it, then you have to break it down smaller and smaller, and you got to grind it out. But doing that will set up a solid foundation for you.
That makes a lot of sense to me. You know what I'm saying? And I hope anybody watching this, I hope that makes sense to them. CJC, I hope that makes sense to you. I'm going to ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
What keeps you passionate about marketing?
Oh man, me personally, I just love the new challenges that come up. I love to hit certain goals. I love the way that the concept of marketing stays the same regardless of the technology that is introduced. Like I said, social media marketing wasn't even around when I got my degree. But it's all the same though. Like, people, one, they don't understand the algorithms and stuff with Facebook and all these other different platforms. They all got different algorithms. That's cool. You can break those by like doing different things. So like, let's take the cook shop for example, right? With the cook shop, people have known and noticed that I do certain techniques with that. What is that? Humor is part of my natural ability of what I do. So when I'm selling the cook shop, I'm really selling humor. I'm not actually selling the products. I'm selling humor. The fact that you now have products associated with that is going to make people, you know what I'm saying, want to at least try them out and things of that nature. And every time I do something hilarious and people find funny, and if I'm laughing in my head, I know it's funny. I really know it's funny when I'm laughing in my head, then I start laughing out loud. But that's what I do with the cook shop. And
Wow, man.
I have some new stuff planned, and what keeps me excited is to like, where can I keep pushing this to? Where can I keep pushing this to? Where can I keep pushing this to? I want to see how big I can get it. So things like that, it keeps me motivated by marketing.
Okay, let me ask you this. How has the pandemic shifted the marketing scene for you?
Well, for me, depending on the business and things of that nature, like the cook shop actually thrived during the pandemic. But my focus changed as far as it was more about informational, and then I wanted it to be more about the connection, because we're all at this situation where, okay, we're on our phones even more, or, you know what I'm saying, we're paying attention more. So how can you capture that attention span that people are going to do? Now, as the pandemic starts to, and this is one thing that actually ties in that too, that I'm going to say, as the pandemic starts to, you know, wear out and we start to get back to some sense of normalcy, if you didn't take advantage of the opportunity, then you're going to be left in the dust. Because I'm telling people, it's going to rise, to surge. Like, businesses are going to take off, things of that nature. You're going to get that, like, that bump in the growth. The pandemic is nothing but a recovery. It's a recession going into a recovery phase, right? When you look at economics, great marketers will tell you that when you hit a recession, you actually should increase your marketing. Why? Because a lot of companies stop marketing as much and they lessen their reach, because they're thinking short term. They're thinking, oh, if I dump 10% of my budget into marketing or whatever, then, we don't have the same consumers that are consuming right now, the same number, that same magnitude. But what you're paying for, you're paying to be in people's minds, because as it starts to come back to a recovery, then you can start to lessen a little bit on your marketing budget. but
because
you're
people see you, but they're still, and you're in their mind now.
And as they start to spend, as all things do, as people start to consume and start to spend their money, or businesses, whatever the case may be, as the economy starts to pick back up, you will be that number one because you took the position while you was in the recession, and you stayed number one going to going through the recovery. Now, I'm not saying just like, you know what I'm saying, kill the marketing budget, but you can pull back on it as it starts to get back. And I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. All the companies who are really pushing during this pandemic, as we start to come out of it, they will be the ones who start to take the lead. And once you
Come
get that
on now.
lead, it's going to be hard for other people to sit there. I'm like, for real. It's like, they're going to watch it go by, and you can choose not to participate and play the game, but you're also going to be left with the consequences of your actions, and you're going to be trying to play makeup while everybody else they run a marathon and you trying to run a sprint.
Let me ask you this, because at this point in the game, you're a seasoned vet.
Yeah.
Is there any marketing advice that you would give to a younger Andreas Cooke?
um to be patient with people. If I would have been like more patient with people, then I think I would have had way more better experiences. But because I was so young and thrust with the information, and then I started applying this information and I saw what was happening. And if people didn't get it like I got it, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, just dismissive and stuff like that. I was
Yeah,
like,
don't worry about
yeah, I'm gonna just leave them alone. I should have been a little bit more patient, but the hindsight is 2020. You know what I'm saying? We could always go back and look at what we could have done or whatever the case may be. But yeah, that's like, if I could go back and meet my younger self, I would definitely like, hey, just be a little bit more patient with people.
it. Listen, I think you don't answer everything that I had for you.
Hmm.
Is there anything you want to put out there before I close this thing down?
Um, I just want people not to be afraid to market and to invest in themselves, because that's what you're doing. Ultimately, you're building your own careers, you're building your own brand, you're building your companies, and to think that you could just do it by yourself, no one gets to the level that they are by themselves. I haven't gotten to where I am by myself. A lot of people see me, but there's other factors and other people involved. I'm just like, the person that people see. I'm the accessible one, or whatever the case may be. But in order to play, and if you want to play at the level to where you're not just replacing your income, but you're actually trying to build a multi-level company, things of that nature, where you put other people on payroll, you have to market. And if people who are selling their services to you, if they're not comfortable and, like, really explaining to you why you should be using them, then they're definitely, what I'm saying, stay away from them. But don't throw everybody in the same box. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all not in the same box. Just go find the organization or the business that's in line with the way you feel. Because you could have a situation where this is a dope company over here, or a dope individual, whatever the case may be, that you want to align yourself with, but y'all just might not see eye to eye, and that's okay. It's like getting your feel for, okay, this person is right for me, this person I can believe in, and let's go ahead and build this relationship and get it going. But to try to do everything yourself, like I said, I outsource different things. I run ideas and stuff by people. I don't think that I'm just, what I'm saying, the one-stop shop and I got all the answers or whatever the case may be. I'm always constantly learning, especially when it comes to consumer behavior and things of that nature. And when the more I interact with people, the more I learn, because I take every interaction and I process that. But if you want to, like I said, get to that level, you got to get in the game, and don't allow one or two bad, marketing experiences stop you from really putting your company out there, or your brand, or whatever the case may be. You will find that individuals or that business that aligns with you, and be able to take you to new heights and new levels. So just don't, what I'm saying, just don't not market. You know what I'm saying? Market.
Get yourself out there.
Get yourself out
Market.
there.
Be
Yeah,
seen. Sell yourself. Network
exactly.
with people.
Exactly.
Great advice. Great advice. Well, Andreas, we're gonna go ahead and shut this thing down. I appreciate you for coming on, my man.
I appreciate you. You know, appreciate your time. Appreciate you. You know, what I'm saying, you didn't have to do this with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't take
Same to
anything
you.
for granted.
Same to you, man. Time is money. Like you say, you don't do business on Sundays. Yet here we are.
Oh.
So guess what? I'm gonna go ahead and get on the screen. Boom! It's your boy Mike Ryder, the man behind the microphone, Mr. Accountability. This has been another edition of Mike Ryder Talks. Let me put this over here like I always do. On the bottom of the screen, you see the ticker. I do this each and every week, each and every time I'm on here. Until we meet again, be blessed. I love y'all.